Sis, help me. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten anything for the past few days.
What?
I saw your Instagram. You're eating sushi alone, right? And it's not the supermarket sushi, but high-end restaurant sushi. I love sushi too. I want to eat this fancy seafood too.
Who are you? I don't have a sister or a family of beggars.
How dare you? Our relationship has been broken, but even so, that's too harsh, don't you think? I mean, it's the first time you heard from your lovely sister in 5 years. Why don't you just treat me to a nice dinner instead of being mean?
Don't be silly. You have Harry, don't you? The man you stole from me, your own sister. He's the son of a wealthy family, so he could take you to a fancy sushi restaurant as much as you want. Ask Harry, not me.
I would have already asked him if I could, but Harry and I are having a big fight now. He kicked me out of his place a week ago.
Oh, you got kicked out?
Yes, that's right. That's why I haven't eaten anything for the past week. I've been living on Harry's income, so I don't have a job and have no savings. I don't even have 5 bucks now.
Even you guys get in a fight sometimes? You guys were lovebirds, calling each other darling and honey. We're bound together by fate. That's what you said.
He was nice to me at first, but started nagging me. He's a scion with lots of money, but he's such a cheapskate. Lately, he gets mad at me for just buying a new high-brand bag. He's like, "Don't you have any restraint?"
How much have you been using?
About $20,000 a month.
$20,000?
But isn't that much okay? I am the girlfriend of Harry, who's a super rich scion. Harry got bored of my plain sister and switched to me. I stayed a showy girl to be the kind of girl Harry likes.
Oh, I see.
But he's really pissed at me and kicked me out. It's awful. I wanted to go back to our parents' house, but Dad told me not to. Dad and Mom are stubborn. They're still mad at me for what happened 5 years ago.
You're too soft in the head and too rotten in the heart.
What?
Our parents cut you off because you stole my fiancé. And yet, how could you even think of going back to their place?
Harry hasn't forgiven me, and our parents are still mad at me. So I'm stuck right now. That's why I'm begging you, sis. Don't abandon your little sister. Help me, sis. That fancy sushi is all thanks to me, you know. So why don't you share a little bit with me?
Huh? Why is this delicious sushi thanks to you?
Because you got a big amount of alimony from Harry, right, sis? That was a lot of money you got for having him breaking off the engagement.
Well, I guess I got more than I expected. His parents were really sorry about the whole thing.
In other words, it's thanks to me for stealing Harry from you. Thanks to me, you got a lot of money.
Huh?
I wish you would be a little more grateful to me. It's thanks to me that you're having such expensive sushi today. You could have treated me to a nice dinner too.
Don't be silly. The sushi will start to taste bad if I keep talking to you. Well then, take care.
What? Aren't you going to share that sushi with me? Aren't you going to help me?
There's no way I'm helping you. Just go make up with Harry and have him take you out for dinner.
Lindsay, will you start over with me? If I'm gonna marry someone, I want it to be you, Lindsay.
What?
I'm sorry about what happened 5 years ago. I betrayed you and switched to Ellie. It was a really foolish thing to do.
Wait a minute. What is this all of a sudden? You're with Ellie, whom you're bound by fate. Just make up and get married or whatever.
Who would marry that greedy bitch? I'm never gonna marry Ellie. I definitely want you, Lindsay, to be my wife. I finally realized how good a woman you are.
What's gotten into you? You said a plain, nagging woman like me didn't deserve to be with you.
I'm so sorry about that time, but I finally realized whenever you were angry with me, it was always out of love.
Huh?
You always scolded me out of consideration, even when I overslept and was late for 3 hours on a date. Even when I had a hangover and skipped work. You were angry at me because you cared about me.
Yes, I warned you about your lack of social skills, saying that if you don't fix it now, you'll have a hard time in the future. But Harry, you took offense at me for being such a nagging bitch. And to top it all off, you switched to my sister. Ellie never gets mad at me. She's cute, and unlike you, she's the best girl I've ever met, is what you said.
I really regret what I did then. You were right. I'm in a lot of trouble right now. I'm in the habit of skipping work, and now I've changed jobs at over 20 different companies. I don't know if it's because of that, but I can't get hired anywhere now.
What?
But Ellie spends money lavishly, and she's even more selfish than I am. When I give her a little warning, she gets all angry. She's pissed off and says, I hate nagging men. I'm at my limit in many ways.
I'm sorry, but I have no sympathy for you. I think you got what you deserved.
Please, don't be so cold, Lindsay. I'm breaking up with Ellie. Let's get back together and get married for sure this time.
Absolutely not. Well then, I'll be going now.
Sis, hurry up and let me in your house. Since it's Sunday, you should be home, right?
Huh?
Ha ha ha. I'm in front of your house now. I'm really broke and I'm at my limit. You can't turn away your sister who came all the way here.
Why do you know where I live?
I identified it from your SNS pics. I'm good at that kind of thing.
What?
I'm so jealous of you, sis. When did you move to such a gorgeous place? This house is seriously too good to be true.
Go back to your own home now. Even if you could identify my house, I'd never let you in.
Don't be so cold. You were able to buy this house all thanks to me. Why can't you let me stay here for a few nights as a small thank you?
Huh?
You must have bought this house with Harry's alimony, right? I envy you that you are able to live in such a gorgeous house just because your engagement was broken off. I'm pissed off that you're having a more luxurious life than me, who stole Harry from you.
Stop that nonsense again.
Ah, I've got an idea. Let's exchange this house with my boyfriend. If you won't let me in the house, that's the only thing I can think of.
Huh? Exchange?
I got Harry, and so you got the house with his alimony. Then, if I give Harry back to you, I should get the house.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What's with this crazy theory all of a sudden?
Even if it's crazy, you'll be happy to have Harry back, right? I'll also be happy to have a place to live. So, it's a win-win for both of us.
Huh?
So, let's make the exchange ASAP. I need to take a shower. After that, I'm posting a nice pic of myself at this house on Instagram. You bought this house with the alimony for breaking off the engagement, didn't you? Then, I'll give you back your ex, so I'll take the house.
This is my husband's property, so I can't give this to you.
What?
Since now you know it's impossible, get the hell out of here. This house wasn't bought with alimony or anything, so your crazy theory won't work either. Now, you stupid girl, leave at once.
Wait a minute. Your husband's? What? You're married?
Yes, I am. I got married earlier this year.
Huh? I don't know anything about that.
Why would I report my marriage to my sister, whom I've cut ties? You couldn't tell by the SNS identification that you're so good at?
Come to think of it, there was some kind of photo of a ring, but I never thought my Sabra sister would get married. I thought you bought that ring with the alimony money.
What an annoying assumption.
So then, this house really belongs to your husband? It wasn't really and truly bought with the alimony money from Harry?
Even if it was alimony from a wealthy guy, I only received a few tens of thousands of dollars. There's no way I could buy a $2 million house with that money.
$2 million? Unbelievable! Wait, this is a $2 million house?
It's in a great location, and the rooms are pretty spacious. My husband said, I got so excited as newlyweds that I splurged.
$2 million is too much. What does your husband do? Don't tell me you dated and married a rich scion again.
He runs a small company. He's not like that son depending on his wealthy parents for his livelihood.
What? He's a business owner?
He's a very respectful person. He's very strict with himself and takes responsibility for his work. In fact, he works so hard that I have to nag him to take some time off. But he doesn't treat me like I'm in his way and appreciates me for it.
That's not fair. You always get nicer things than me. You're married to a company owner, which makes you the company president's wife, right? You can spend his money lavishly without him complaining, right?
Yes, I have a credit card in his name with no limit, but I don't have much material desire. I don't buy much for myself, so he gives me all kinds of gifts.
What? I'm super jealous.
He's such a great guy that I never get tired of spending time with him. I wonder if this is what it means to be bound together by fate. Let's each be happy with the man of our dreams.
Wait, sis. That's a misunderstanding that you two are bound by fate. That husband of yours might be destined to be with me.
Huh?
The man of your dreams should be Harry. So, instead of exchanging Harry with your house, let's exchange Harry with your husband. Now, I want to be the president's wife and get all the luxuries.
Don't talk in your sleep. Then, bye.
Hey, Lindsay, you've got to be kidding me. Ellie told me that you got married, but is it true? There's no way you got married to someone other than me.
There's no way I'd marry you. Put your hands on your heart and reflect on what you've done.
I told you I'm sorry for what I did 5 years ago, but I can't believe you left me and married another man. I'll forgive you now, so come back to me.
I haven't forgiven you yet. Or rather, I have no intention of ever forgiving you.
What?
Well then, goodbye. Don't ever contact me again.
Oh, no, wait. What am I going to do if you abandon me? Who the hell am I supposed to marry? I'm already on a deadline that's fast approaching.
Huh? Deadline?
Actually, my father wants me to get married by the end of this year. He said that's the condition for me to take over his company. He said if I don't get myself together soon, he'll give the company to my brother.
Then why don't you and Ellie get married right away? Then you'll fulfill the condition and get your family's company.
You'll have to be crazy to marry such a selfish woman. Try making her the president's wife. My life will fall apart.
That's true. Not just your life, but your company as well.
That's why I want to marry you. I mean, it has to be you. You're the only one who can make me a great company president.
Huh?
I have a habit of oversleeping and skipping work. I need a woman who can lead me to the right path without giving up. Lindsay, you're the only one who can do that. Please, stay by my side and make me a great company president.
Go to hell. I'm not your mother. Why do I have to train you to become a great company president? Why don't you just hand the company over to your little brother? It's for the best for everyone.
Oh, no.
I'll leave you to it then. I'm expecting someone, so bye.
Are you expecting your husband to come? The douchebag who stole my woman.
It's just the people from USPS.
Oh.
I really can't stand your stupidity. Well then, good luck finding someone to marry.
Shut up. In that case, I'm going to marry Ellie. Then, I'm going to take over the company and become the president. I'll become a business owner who makes more money than your husband. It'll be too late for you to regret dumping me then.
Yes, please feel free to do so. I'm sure Ellie will be thrilled to be the president's wife. I hope you two get along well and enjoy a wonderful married life.
This sucks. I shouldn't have gotten married if this was going to happen. Seriously, everything is just unbelievable.
What's wrong, Ellie? You married Harry, didn't you? You should be at the peak of your happiness, becoming the wife of the president you've always dreamed of.
What part of this is the peak of happiness? Instead of being the president's wife, I'm now the wife of a homeless man. I should never have married a man with no house and no money.
What? What's going on? If he got married, he'd be able to take over the family business, right?
I heard so too. So that's why I married Harry. Harry contacted me and said, let's make up and get married. We got married that day, and we just went to report it to his parents. But his parents were awful. They kicked us out saying, we won't accept such a woman as our daughter-in-law.
What?
He thought the only condition for taking over the company was marriage. But it seems like they said, if you should marry someone decent. They said, she's not a decent woman by any stretch of imagination. We can't trust the company to a man who would choose such a woman as a spouse. I wish they thought about my feelings, having these things said in front of me. I was super hurt.
I see. Then Harry's parents must have been hurt too. They were the ones who cried most over our broken engagement. Yet, their son, whom they worked so hard to raise, turned out to be so stupid. I feel sorry for his parents who got the marriage report.
You should feel sorry for me too. And they also took away the credit card Harry was using. It was the great credit card where no one got mad at you for buying anything since it was in his parents' name. And since his apartment was in their name, they suddenly told us to leave. I would never have married Harry if it was going to be like this.
Then why don't you just get a divorce? You wouldn't mind, right?
If I could, I would have done it already. But Harry won't let me get a divorce.
What?
When I told him that I'd break up with him if I can't be the president's wife, he said he won't allow me to run away. He said he'll make me fall to the ground with him and won't let me divorce him.
Oh my, he's dragging you to hell.
Don't be silly and help me. If this happens, you have no choice but to marry Harry instead of me. Otherwise, I'll have to live in poverty with Harry for the rest of my life.
That's great. I'm sure that living in poverty will help both of you mend your spoiled personalities.
What?
You and your husband should work hard to crawl out of poverty. I'll be watching over you two from afar.
Wait a minute. Are you going to help me? If you marry Harry, it'll solve all the problems. Don't you think it's awful to get me involved and then abandon me?
That's my line. You dragged me into your selfish life, and yet you're playing the victim? You deserve this.
Oh, no.
If you were a decent woman, you could have been the president's wife. Well then, good luck to you both. I heard that Harry's younger brother has successfully taken over Harry's parents' company. However, Harry was sulking after hearing this, saying, I will never work seriously again for the rest of my life. He would get a part-time job, But when it became a hassle, he would quit, and then go for another part-time job, but he would quit again. Harry is growing more and more into a useless man. Ellie is still unable to divorce Harry. They live in a very cheap apartment, and Ellie works to make ends meet. From time to time, they request their families to support them with living expenses, but their parents tell them to work on it themselves and don't seem to help them at all.
Hey man, how's work?
Busy. Fun. The usual.
Still pulling overtime?
Every day. I love my job, but I feel like I'm the only one in my department who knows what the hell I'm doing.
So you're doing other people's work too?
Pretty much. I like it though. I feel like I'm making a difference, and the pay isn't too bad.
Do you feel like your boss appreciates you?
I think so. Fred seems like a nice guy, and he always encourages me. It's a bit unfair though, because he really doesn't know what he's doing, but he is a master, so of course he's the supervisor.
That doesn't seem fair.
It's fine. He's pretty hands-off overall. I think he knows that I'm the one keeping our department afloat. Why are you asking?
Well, there's an opening in my office. You'd be doing about the same tasks as you're doing now, but I can guarantee that we'd be able to pay you more. And our staff is bigger, so you wouldn't have to work overtime.
Really?
Yeah. My boss asked me if I knew any good candidates, and I mentioned you. I hope that's okay.
Of course it's okay. That's awesome.
Cool. I'll let my manager know you're interested, and then he'll email you the application.
Dude, thanks so much.
My pleasure. We need someone like you around here. And can you imagine us working in the same place? It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So, how did the interview go?
Amazing. We really hit it off.
I know, he told me.
Yeah? So then why'd you ask?
I wanted to hear your opinion on how it went.
Well, I thought it went great, and the starting salary, I'd be earning so much more than I am right now.
So if he offers you the job, would you take it?
In a heartbeat.
Cool.
I just need to talk to my boss, get his recommendation letter, and then put in my 2 weeks' notice.
And that won't be a problem, right?
Definitely not. Fred won't be happy to see me go, but he'll understand. Hello, Tony. I just forwarded your letter of recommendation to the email addresses you gave me. They should have received it by now. Wow, thank you, sir. That was fast. No problem. You know, I sincerely hope this new position works out for you. I hate to lose an employee like you, but I understand that you're destined for bigger and better things, and I don't want to hold you back. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot at this company, and I'll always be grateful for the experience. Did you CC me on the recommendation letter too? No, it's confidential. That's company policy. Okay, I understand. And just so you know, if this job offer happens to fall through, you'll always have a space here with us. Yes, thank you, but I'm pretty optimistic. My interview went really well. Of course it did. Well, good luck. Let me know when you hear from them. Will do. So Fred just sent over my recommendation letter. I hope it's what your bosses want. Now it's only a matter of time before we'll be working together.
Awesome, I'm so excited.
Me too. Dude, they rescinded the offer. What happened? Is it because I don't have a college degree? They told me that wouldn't be a problem.
Hey man, I was just about to call you.
Do you know what happened?
Yeah.
And I thought they liked me.
They did, it's just, there was an issue with your recommendation letter.
What do you mean?
How well do you know your supervisor, Fred?
Pretty well. I've been working under him for 3 years now. He's kind of an idiot, but he's always liked me. Did he make a mistake in the letter?
I don't think it was a mistake, Tony. Your boss actually trashed you in the letter.
What?
He said that you're always late, that your work is riddled with mistakes, that the company would be better off without you.
No, there must have been some mistake. Fred wouldn't have written that.
I saw the letter myself, man. He made you seem like a total loser. He even ended the letter by writing, "Thank you for taking him off our hands," something like that.
Jesus, why would he do that? He likes me.
I think you just answered your own question. He didn't want to lose you, so he made sure we'd change our minds about hiring you.
And it worked, apparently.
I tried to talk to my bosses and explain the situation. I told them that they shouldn't believe anything in that letter.
And they didn't listen to you?
No, they did. They believed me. But they still have to answer to the CEO and go through all the right hoops before they hire anyone. And with a letter like that in your file, they just can't justify hiring you. I'm so sorry.
I gotta go.
Tony, are you okay?
Hello, sir. Are you out of the office? Yes, I'm taking a personal day. Is there an issue?
Why did you write those things in my recommendation?
What? That letter was confidential. You weren't supposed to see that.
Why did you say I was a bad employee?
You're not a bad employee. I just had to make sure that the letter captured all the nuances of your performance. I'm so sorry if that means you didn't get the job, but don't worry. We're still happy to have you. Uh-huh. You're not going to leave us, are you?
No, I'm stuck here. You made sure of that.
It's okay. Just put in a few more years here, earn your experience, and one day you might get promoted.
Did you mean what you said in that letter?
Again, the letter was confidential. I'm not going to comment on it. But I will say that you should keep doing what you're doing and you'll start moving up the ranks sooner than you think. You don't need to look for another job. I hope that answers your questions.
Yep, all understood. Hey man, what's new?
Not much. I took Lana to the movies the other day. Other than that, same old, same old.
And work?
Yeah, I'd rather not talk about that.
That bad, huh?
No, it's honestly the same as it's always been. But now that I know what my boss did to keep me here, I don't know, man, I'm just really resentful.
You should be!
I even asked him for a raise last month. I figured that if I was so important to our department, he'd have to understand. He knows I haven't been happy since his recommendation letter of doom.
And he said no?
Yep, he said that they don't have the budget to renegotiate salaries until next year. But I'll definitely be getting a raise as soon as they have the money. Never mind the fact that I've single-handedly raised sales by 20% in the last year.
Well, I might have some good news.
Yeah?
So, the guy we ended up hiring instead of you, well, he didn't work out.
Really?
Yep, he was a total dud. He had no idea what he was doing. So the position is open again.
Please, don't give me any false hope, man. I already got rejected before. I don't think I can handle going through that again.
You won't! I talked with the higher-ups and they're desperate. Company policy says that they still need a recommendation letter from a supervisor.
Well, that's still a no-go because Fred is the only supervisor I've ever had. Can't it be a high school teacher or something? I can call up Mrs. Abraham.
Nah, but here's the thing. I figured out a loophole that would fulfill the requirements while still bypassing your idiot of a boss.
Go on.
Instead of a written recommendation, you can submit your last performance evaluation. You do them quarterly, right? Or is it every year?
I don't know. I don't remember ever receiving one.
You've been there 3 years. You should have at least one. Just track down whatever you have on file and send that to my boss's email, and he'll redo your interview. I checked with him, and he says that if you do this one thing, the job is yours.
Wow, that sounds easy enough. Okay.
Try to do it as soon as possible. We really need someone like you in our office.
I'll check it out right now. Thanks, man.
Of course.
Well, I checked our company policy, and it looks like we're supposed to get quarterly evaluations. It's mandatory. But apparently Fred hasn't done them for anyone in our department.
Oh.
But I'll figure something out. Watch me. Hello, Fred. I wanted to check in. Great. I assume everything is going well. Yes, everything's fine. Still working hard, still happy with the results. Good to hear. Do you need help with something? I just wanted to ask if I'm working to your satisfaction. Yes, I'm very happy. Unfortunately, we still don't have any room in the budget for a raise at this point. Oh, I wasn't talking about a raise. Okay. I was asking about my performance. Yes, and your performance is good. Great. So, would it be possible to do my quarterly evaluation this week? Why? Because I'm supposed to have a quarterly evaluation every quarter, hence the name. But I haven't gotten one since I started here, so I was wondering if we could fix that. Why? Because it's part of our policy. But why does it mean so much to you, and why now? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not asking for a raise right now, but if I'm going to stick with this company for the long haul, I need to look at the future. I'd like to keep advancing through the ranks, and I figured that I need to start thinking about my personal record with the company. You know, to justify future promotions. Don't you agree? You work very hard. Right, thank you. Don't you think I'd be more in line for a promotion in the future if I had evaluations to reflect my job performance? I do. And you're sure that's the only reason you're asking? It's a valid reason, and it's policy. Uh-huh, I see. Well, okay then. How about tomorrow afternoon? I'll have an evaluation ready by then. Will that be acceptable? Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm going to email your boss my last evaluation, but just know that it's complete nonsense.
What do you mean?
I mean, Fred is a jackass, and when I requested an evaluation, which is part of our policy, he must have suspected that something was up. So he absolutely trashed me in the evaluation, just like his stupid letter.
Really? That bad?
We have 20 categories where you had to rank me 1 out of 10. I got 1s and 2s in every single one, including personal hygiene. Wow. Yeah, apparently I smell.
So you think that he's trying again to stop you from quitting?
That's obviously what he's doing. And I tried to be really subtle too. I told him I needed the evaluation to establish a record so I'd eventually get a promotion in the future. I made it seem like I'd be working at this stupid company for the long haul. Man, I have no idea what to do.
Can I see the evaluation?
Why?
Because I'm curious.
Okay, I hope you're in the mood for a laugh.
Okay, give me a sec. Jesus, this makes you seem like a complete train wreck.
Yep, constantly late, belligerent, nearly all job duties below satisfaction.
Improper attire, that's a good one.
None of this is true, obviously. I work my butt off for this company. I take pride in my work.
I know, that's why he doesn't want to lose you, because he knows you're the best.
It's a freaking joke. Twice now. I am so angry.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah.
And?
He said that performance evaluations were cumulative. He said that if he ranks me at a lower level now and I increase in all categories next time, then it'll make me look better.
I don't think that's what cumulative means.
Whatever, it's BS anyway.
So what are you going to do?
I'm gonna send it to your boss. He's a good person, right? He'll take one look at this and know that my company is doing everything they can to keep me here.
Yeah, he'll understand, but he still needs something good for the records. Even if he knows your boss is lying, he's not going to be able to hire someone with this in their record.
Yeah, I figured, but I'm still going to send it anyway.
Dude, I'm so sorry. This is ridiculous.
And when I asked Fred for the evaluation yesterday, he told me what a good job I was doing. It's like he doesn't even care how transparent he's being.
There's gotta be other companies out there that'll hire you. I mean, with your experience and skills.
Not in this area, and I don't want to move. It's either this company or yours.
Okay, well, send this to my boss and hope he'll be able to do something with this. But I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey man, I'm so sorry.
So you heard?
Yeah, my boss said he couldn't hire you. Again.
Yeah.
He told me that he wants to, it's just company policy that they need some sort of a reference.
Yeah, he told me all that too. It sucks.
It sucks for us too. We really need someone like you right now. The last guy they hired had a glowing letter but was an absolute moron.
You're not really making me feel better.
Sorry.
Nah, it is what it is.
Are you upset?
Yeah, of course.
It'll work out. Don't lose hope.
See, that's where you're wrong. I'm trapped here. I have no hope left.
Don't say that.
No, it's actually kind of a good thing.
Huh?
Well, now that all my hope is gone, I really don't have anything else to lose. So I figured, why don't I just give Fred exactly what he wants?
But that's what you've been doing.
No, you don't understand. Now that I have this evaluation with his signature, I'm going to start acting exactly how he described me. Bad hygiene, bad attitude, bad work ethic. I'm going to be the world's worst employee, just as he described.
You'd really do that?
Why not? I've been giving 110% for 3 years now, and that's only backfired in my face. It's time to do the opposite.
But then you'll be fired and you won't have any job.
See, I don't think so. You saw the last question at the bottom of my evaluation. Does this employee's conduct merit any disciplinary actions? He ticked off no, which means that by his own admission, he couldn't fire me, and if he did, then he'd be admitting that the entire evaluation was made up. So I'm going to be as awful as possible and see what happens. Honestly, it'll be fun.
No offense, man, but it sounds like you lost it.
Yeah, I kinda did. Good morning. Is there a problem? No problem, it's all good. Why? Because you should have been here an hour ago. Oh, sorry, I'm stuck in traffic. For an hour? Yeah, it happens, but I'll get there by lunch, no worries. We have a meeting, remember? We can't start until you get here and help me open access to our online portal. Oh. Okay, well, I'll be there soon. This is very inappropriate, Tony. If you have an issue getting here on time, you should have informed me. Yeah, I guess I didn't. See you later. Reynolds says he still doesn't have access to the portal. Is there a problem? Maybe. I might have messed up. I'll check it out tomorrow. No, he needs access now. Oh, okay. What's gotten into you, Tony? You showed up late in flip-flops? And you left for lunch without making sure that all the staff was ready for our trainings. Yeah, I guess I did. I guess you were right about me in your evaluation. What's going on? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull? No stunt, I'm just doing my job the same way I've always done. Sorry, I can't answer the phone on my lunch break. Tony, answer your phone. Can't, I'm busy. I'm extremely disappointed in you. You should have finished the updates yesterday. Whoops, I haven't started them yet. Then what have you been doing all week? Well, there's this new game I just downloaded on my company laptop. It's like Animal Crossing, but it's with Disney characters. It's really fun. This is unacceptable. Sorry. You can't just slack off for an entire week and then text me a one-word apology. Our entire department is in disarray because of you. Really? I guess my job is really important, huh? If this is about getting a raise, I already told you that we don't have the budget for that. I'm not worried about that. Then what are you trying to do? Slacking off, showing up to work wearing stained tank tops. It's like you want me to fire you. But sir, how is this any different from how I've always acted? You used to be great at your job, you used to actually do the work. Oh, really? That's not what my evaluation says. I don't care about what your evaluation says. If you don't straighten up, then I will fire you. Really? Yes. But why? Because you're not doing your job and you smell. But this is how I've always been, and it was acceptable before, right? The evaluation said that my conduct doesn't merit any disciplinary action, so what's changed? You used to do better. Not according to my evaluation. I'm sorry, Fred, but if my behavior was acceptable before, it should still be acceptable now. You can't fire me for no reason. Fine, okay, I exaggerated on your form. It's not a crime. Are you saying that you lied on my evaluation? No, I exaggerated. Okay, I accept that. So tell me exactly how I acted before and I'll start behaving in the same way. You know how you behaved before. To avoid any further confusion, I need you to tell me exactly what my job performance was like before that evaluation, and I promise to conduct myself in the same way. Fine. First of all, you were always on time. You gave me a 1 out of 10 in punctuality. What number should that have been? I don't know, an 8? Okay, so I'll only be late 2 out of every 10 days, if that's how I acted before. You were never late. So it should be a 10, then. Yes. And my clothing and hygiene were both at 2s. What's the correct number? 10. Great, we just have 18 more categories to go through. Stop it, okay? Your performance in every category exceeded expectations. So I should have gotten 10 on everything. Yes. Are you satisfied? I am. So now you'll start acting the way you did before? Sure, no problem. Good. Now come into my office so we can talk face to face. I'm a little busy right now. But you said you'd stop with this attitude. I did. Unfortunately, I'm meeting with Carol in HR right now. I hope it's okay that she's reading your texts, too. What? Yeah, now she knows that you lied on my evaluation. She should be calling you in the next 10 minutes. Wait, please, let me explain. I think you already did. Hey man, want to see the most amazing text thread in human history? Yeah? Dude, Fred just buried himself. I know. So your big plan worked. Apparently. Wow. You know, we still haven't filled that position. Now that you'll have all this in writing, I think my bosses will be more than happy to offer you that job. That's great, but I don't think it'll work for me. Please, thank them for the opportunity, but I've decided to stay here. Really? After all that? Yeah, our CEO just offered me Fred's old position. I said yes. Who knew that purposefully doing a bad job would get me a promotion? Once I forced Fred to admit what he did to keep me from quitting, the CEO called us both into his office to explain exactly what happened. Because I had Fred's confession saved on my phone, all he could do was come clean. Fred told our CEO that he purposefully prevented me from leaving the company, and the CEO kept pressing him until he admitted that I was the glue holding our whole department together. I didn't say a lot during that meeting. It seemed like a better move to just let Fred dig himself a deeper and deeper hole. By the end of the meeting, Fred was fired, and I was offered the supervisor position. I was worried that the CEO would be upset with me for lashing out the way I did. After all, I was wearing a stained tank top at the time. But he actually seemed kind of amused by the whole thing. He said it was thinking outside the box. This all went down about a year ago, and since then our department has improved 1,000%. Sales are up, office satisfaction is at an all-time high, and I think the higher-ups are very happy with my work. Jerry's company eventually found a good candidate for their open position, so things are all good over there. It would have been nice to work alongside my best friend, but I'm happier here. As for Fred, I don't know what he's doing. I stumbled across his page on LinkedIn, and it doesn't seem like he's found a new job. I seriously doubt he has any good references.